Yo, what's up guys? Caleb here and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to talk about something that actually got asked like quite a bit. How did I get started streaming on Twitch? That's kind of a cool story I like to talk about because one, it's like super nostalgic for me to talk about, and two, it's just fun to talk about. But anyway, pretty much what happened was a long time ago I discovered this thing called Speed Demos Archive, which that was like the main hub for like speedrunning and stuff. Everybody like posted their times. It was mainly just like a giant forum, and that's, I'm not gonna say was like the very first place that people like, you know, posted their like speedrun times or whatever, but there was mainly like a giant database for it, right? And eventually they added like a page where you could actually stream. Now streaming was not exactly what it is today. You know, we got Twitch today. It's a lot easier. Back then, you had other stuff like Ustream, Own.net, other things like that, and I wasn't really familiar with that at the time. But what I used was a thing called Ustream. Ustream was ghetto, it was raw. Didn't really have anything like we have like on Twitch today. But pretty much what it was like you had a dashboard. I don't even remember if you could change your title. I think you could. There definitely wasn't like a giant games list like there is on Twitch, you know. Now it's just like pop it in, you know, put in the title, pick a game, but you're good to go. I think like Ustream back then, you just could like say, hey, I'm doing this, but you couldn't actually do anything else or whatever. It was so weird. And then to make it even better, the program that I used to stream with was called Flash Media Live Encoder, which at the time I called Fuck My Life Encoder, and it was great. And it wasn't actually great. So let me tell you a little bit about this ancient piece of software. I said flash my fuck ass. Anyway, this piece of software was amazing, and it wasn't amazing at all. All you could do was have one video source and one audio source. So what does that mean? You can't also show your game feed and have your webcam or whatever as well, and you couldn't have any other audio sources, so you just had your microphone or, you know, whatever you had, and that was about it. And now when I say only one audio source, I mean only one external, so you could hear the game feed like coming out or whatever, because that like is built in. But let's say you wanted like two separate audio sources, you could only just have one. That's it. I mean, most streams only have one in particular, you know, but Flash Media Live Encoder was special, obviously, so that's all you could do. Now at the time, I didn't really know about like streaming with like webcam like you could do today, but I didn't really, you know, that wasn't my main focus. I wanted to. I found that other streamers were using a webcam, but that wasn't really my main focus. All I wanted to do was just showcase my speedrun of Mega Man X and just talk about random stuff, you know? And that's pretty much what I did for a while. And I was getting like maybe 1, 2, 3 viewers or something like that, so. But it was a lot of fun. My setup was just, it was ghetto. I think I had like a laptop, it was a POS, barely even worked, let alone like, you know, ran a stream. I think I had a Blue Snowball, no, it was a USB Logitech headset mic, and you know how like the cord would always go over like the microphone and make this like little sound. That's all you heard. Like, oh god, it was amazing, dude. But you know, that's what it was like back in the day. And then this other piece of software came out. This was called XSplit. Now some people use XSplit today, but I definitely prefer OBS Studio. I think it's way better. But that came out, and yeah, you could actually have separate scenes, and you could have, you know, separate. You guys know what XSplit is. Point is, you could have more than one audio source and more than one video source. You could do that with Flash Media Live Encoder, and it was free. Like, there were some instances with Flash Media Live Encoder where you had to pay for it, and it was just horrible, but XSplit was free, so it was a win-win situation. Not to mention, Justin TV is now a thing. Justin TV was like where everybody moved. That was like the main harbor streaming, and you could actually do things properly. You could pick your game, and you know, you had a dashboard, you could customize stuff, and then Twitch they bought out Justin TV, and that's pretty much what it is today. So pretty much how I got started was I was on this forum and people were like, yeah, speedrun. I was like, this is pretty cool. I was watching like Mega Man X speedruns and I thought I could do better, and I was just kind of like, this like blew my mind, like for weeks and months, and I was just kind of like focused on this speedrun stuff. I was like, dude, this makes so much sense. Like, I was meant to do this, and I put so much time into it and became part of the community, and yeah, it was just a big thing. And it kind of grew to what it is today after some time. But the thing is, like back in the day, is that I didn't really have all the time that I could stream as I wanted, because I was working like this pain in the ass restaurant job. It was fine dining. I was a main guy on the line, culinary profession. That's still my profession, technically. But I was doing that. I was working Thursday through Sunday, like 8-10 hour shifts. So streaming on either of those days was almost just impossible, because I would just come home and, it was a 45-minute drive there and back. So it was like an hour and a half commute just for that. Not to mention gym time, meal prep, whatever, just pain in the ass. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I would also go to culinary school. But there would be some days where I would just not go to school and stream. I'm not gonna say, that's something you should do, but I am gonna say that definitely may have helped get to where I am now. Just a little bit of extra streaming time, I don't condone skipping school. Kids, don't skip school. All right, go to school, don't skip it. All right, unless you're gonna be doing full-time Switch tournament, then you may have an exception. Anyway, but I was doing that, and it was just really hard to juggle streaming and going to school and work. It was just a pain in the ass, and I actually do get a lot of questions of, how did you start? I'm working a lot, and I can't really find time to stream, and I was just, and there's a thing on Twitch called Forehead, just do it. That's all you really can, just do it. You just have to really dedicate. You can't half-ass it, and I did not, because I had a goal in mind. I definitely wanted to make something of this, and I did. So you just really got to work hard at it. But the thing is, though, is that I got to a point where I was making, I think, like equivalent to what I was working like 40 hours a week in the span of 4 days on Twitch, only streaming like maybe 3 or 4, maybe like 4 or 5 hours a day at the most. I got to a point where I was making equal to or more money than I was working. And then eventually, where I live, just the demographic doesn't really support the fine dining food, that would be, where I worked was like, a place in like California or New York, or, where people actually appreciate good food. This didn't really cut it for where I am. So that place unfortunately did shut down, got laid off, and then, I wasn't like, yeah, let's go full-time streaming, because I didn't really feel confident enough. I didn't, I wasn't really sure my mom and dad were gonna support that. So I found like another coffee shop job. Oh my god, this is just so funny, because like I went from like busting my ass 10 hours a day, just shitty working conditions, just awful, to this barista job where the boss wasn't even there like half the time, because she was like married, just kind of doing whatever. So she felt like it was kind of cool, because she felt confident in me and this other girl. We would like run this place, right? And we would do like a great job at it. And then there would be some times where it would literally only be me. So I would like do everything, but I would just kind of do whatever I needed to do. And then, she had a computer, and I would watch streams on that thing. That was one of the best jobs I've ever had, just because of how chill it was and how easy it was. And it was just like this feeling of going from this crazy hard fine dining job to this like easy, chill, it's like a thing where people, they say that, oh yeah, watching your stream at work. Like, I literally was like watching streams at work and stuff. It was great. The food I made, I can go on for hours about how much I really like this job in comparison to the previous one, because I could actually stay home like a normal person on the weekends. I had Saturdays off. I could actually come home on a Friday night and, you know, not be at my restaurant at 12, you know, 12 at night and stuff like that. I could actually relax on the weekends. But on the plus side, the most important thing is that I could stream way more. So this job like actually opened up the fact that I could stream more. And at that point, you know, after a couple months down the road, I was just working this like job. I didn't really work that much, which is good because I was, you know, I actually had good time for school and, you know, streaming a bunch. So I got to the point where I was just streaming, and that was my main source of income because it completely outweighed the fact that I was this other job, which was basically pennies compared to what I was making on streaming. And then that place, you know, started like going out of business too. So I got laid off. I volunteered to actually be the first person to get laid off because I was like, oh yeah, I got this other thing, and I was just kind of like, let's go. So I came home and kind of told my mom and dad. I was just like, look, they laid me off, and they were just kind of like, you know, well, I mean, do you want to look for another place? And I was just like, another plan. So a month passed by, and they were kind of asking me like about finding other places to work, and I told them I'm going to pursue this. I am going to pursue full-time streaming on Twitch. And they weren't really sure, but this other opportunity came up. And I got this slot on the front page, and I had like thousands and thousands of viewers. And after like this like 2 or 3 hour primetime slot, I got like a huge amount of subscribers and like over $1,000 in donations. And told my mom and dad about it, and they were just kind of like, well, looks like you got something going for you. And pretty much the rest is history. This all took place, I guess the big boost in my career, probably around late 2013 is when all this happened. And it was one of the highlights of my entire life. Going from just like this, you know, I guess like commercial job to streaming, because it was just, it's really nostalgic, and it all happened in the winter around that time, and I love winter, snow, and it's just like a very nostalgic time for me. Just a huge shift in my life, and there was nothing bad, you know, it was all good. And that is pretty much how I got started streaming on Twitch. Hope you enjoyed the video. Got lots more content coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave in the comments below on how you got started, or, you know, other stuff that you guys would like for me to talk about. I'm more than happy to make videos based on that. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like the content, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and my Twitch, and more importantly, don't forget to sub to the YouTube channel. Thank you.